We started off by genociding the Native Americans by the millions, whose land was rightfully theirs. We just took it from them, and we didn't value their lives. Then we started this country, then we took black people from Africa because we didn't value their lives. Then we forced them to pick our cotton and raise our kids and build our White House and do all the work that white people were too lazy to do. Wow, starting off really great, isn't it? And then we said, yay, we're great, we're America, now we're free. Except for everybody except the white man. And black Americans couldn't drink from the same water fountains, sit on a bus, go to church, and on and on and on. Slavery, Jim Crow, Black Wall Street, and all the time, my demographic, we're great, we're great, we're great. Because you want to make America white again. You want one thing and one thing alone. Straight white Christian America. But if you commit felonies, if you steal from cancer charities, if you cheat on your wives with a porn star, if you steal top secret documents, if you have dinner with white nationalists, if you insult people, if you make fun of people, if you talk about Hannibal Lecter and electric sharks, as long as you're a white man in your America, that's okay, because you want to make America white again.
Hello and welcome to this channel. I hope you're doing fine wherever you're tuning in from. And I'm also glad that you really clicked on this video. I really appreciate that. Now, in today's video, I'll be reacting to a video that I came across on YouTube, and it's a video by a creator called Paul Lance. All credits to him because he really did a very good video. And in this video, he is basically talking about, or basically addressing MAGA supporters. He's addressing Trumpers, those people who believe that they're in a mission to make America great again. And he poses a question: when was America great? And to whom was it great? And for who was it great? And how was it great in the first place? Now, he reviews every single beat or every single undoing in the American history, and he does that in a nutshell. So he begins by the very beginning stage of America, where he talks about when Americans killed the Native Americans and took away their land without even caring. And that was the sole establishment of America, the one that we are calling great. And he also goes ahead, remember he's a white guy, he also goes ahead and recognizes the fact that America has never been great for black folks from the very beginning, because after establishing America, then came slavery, and ever since the period of slavery, it has never been great for any black person. And it's now that white people are kind of catching up with what blacks have been feeding all along. It's now that some white people are out there crying. Yeah, and not that I'm spreading hatred or any uh, racial opinions. No, I am just putting the truth out there. And it's good that the video I'm reacting to is a video done by a white creator. So yeah, I don't think I'll say much right now. Let's get to watch the video, and after watching the video, I will be back here so that we can have a brief discussion. I know this is a very sensitive topic, a topic that most creators don't want to talk about, but that is what this channel is about. I believe this is a topic that needs to be talked about more often. This is a topic that we need to have a conversation about. And please stick to the end of the video because I really want to know what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Let's have a conversation around this topic that we are discussing today. tell me, how and when was America great in the first place? Now, my previous channel was deleted. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing to this channel. This is the kind of content that I post on this video, and I do that on a daily basis for free, by the way. All you need to do is just to subscribe in return. Anyway, let's watch the video, and I hope to be seeing you on the other end for a brief discussion and a commentary.
Seeing the clip from Jeff Daniels in the newsroom about tell me what's great about America. Fundamentally, that is why we're here as a country. When I hear Make America Great Again, when? Let's review America. Let's look at its greatness, shall we? We started off by genociding the Native Americans by the millions, whose land was rightfully theirs. We just took it from them, and we didn't value their lives. Then we started this country, then we took black people from Africa because we didn't value their lives. Then we forced them to pick our cotton and raise our kids and build our White House and do all the work that white people were too lazy to do. Wow, starting off really great, isn't it? And then we come up with the Constitution in 1787. And we're still waiting for this greatness, right? So the founding fathers that were racist slave owners that owned black people like cattle, great start, right? They designed the country to benefit 21-year-old land-owning white men, and black people were only worth 60% of a white man. And then women didn't have the right to vote, have credit, no-fault divorce. They were also treated as less than the white man. And we said, yay, we're great, we're America, now we're free, except for everybody except the white man. And black Americans couldn't drink from the same water fountains, sit on a bus, go to church, and on and on and on. Slavery, Jim Crow, Black Wall Street, and all the time, my demographic, we're great, we're great, we're great. Then you fast forward to 2024. And we finally have the opportunity to do something. To show that we're going to progress as a society. Not just the most qualified black woman, but the most qualified candidate in the history of our country. And this country did what it always does. It fell back on the most uneducated, morally bankrupt, foolish, childish, immature plantation owner that wears diapers and orange makeup. Because that's what America wants. We have 11.1% of our population that live in poverty. 14 million children go to school hungry every day. We have over 40,000 people that sadly lose their lives to pew-pew violence because we do nothing about it, because we're such a great country. Our largest employer, Walmart, has 15,000 people that are on public assistance that you and I pay for. We have the most incarcerated prison systems in the entire world. Now, if you're a black man and you're running down the street like Ahmaud Arbery, you got a bunch of white U.S. citizens that think you're stealing something because you're black. And they unalive him. If you're a convicted felon and you abuse women and you try to overturn a free and fair election through an insurrection, you get to be president. If you take a knee and stand for what's right, you're called the son of a bitch and you lose your job. But if you're white and you storm the Capitol and you attack police officers on video and you admit to it in a court of law and you're found guilty by a jury of your peers, you get pardoned because we're such a great country. There's a lot of countries that have freedom. A Australia, Belgium, Iceland, Canada, Japan. Lots of countries have freedom. We're $36 trillion in debt because we can't even balance a budget because we're so wasteful as Americans. The story with Adriana Smith really summarizes how broken this country truly is and how little it actually values a life that doesn't look like me. She's a 30-year-old black mother, and she has a little son. When she was 9 weeks pregnant, she got a clot in her brain. And sadly, her brain is no longer functioning. It's awful. I don't know all the details, but she's no longer viable as a functioning person. So the state of Georgia, because they're so pro-life, because of their heartbeat bill, they've turned her into a human incubator, which is morally reprehensible. It's repulsive. It's gross. So for the last 60 days, they've kept her alive to save that infant. And her young son comes by and visits, and he thinks that his mom is sleeping. That is gut-wrenchingly heartbreaking. Because they want to push their agenda to populate more children in this country. But what happens after that is really what America is. They don't care if that family goes into medical debt, files bankruptcy, loses their house from being forced to leave her daughter on a ventilator. Who knows how long? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more months? Let's just presume the baby makes it somehow without any defects. America doesn't care if that kid has food, if it has a house. It doesn't care if it has health care. It doesn't care if it's unalived in a school due to pew-pew violence. And it sure in the hell doesn't care if it has clean water and clean air. So my question for you, MAGA, what exactly is great about this country? I'll tell you what you think is great. Your whiteness. Your version of white America. Having 800 million American flags? No, that's not great. Having a pet bald eagle? That's not great. Worshipping a flag, praying to it, singing to it? No. See, what you don't realize because you're too ignorant is that that flag to a lot of people, to Asian Americans, to black Americans, to women, to minorities, it's been a symbol of oppression since the inception of this country. That's what you fail to realize because you're too ignorant. That's why we're here. Because you don't care that other people view that flag differently than you. You're insulted when I say America has never been great for everybody. We have to come to terms with that. And if it makes people angry, that's too goddamn bad. I can both appreciate people that served this country and fought for our freedoms and safety. But I can also say in the same breath, it has never been great for everybody. Kicking out trans people who have served in our military for 15 or 18 years while you voted for a little coward-ass bitch that had bone spurs that wears makeup and diapers, there's nothing patriotic about it. Those trans people served this country bravely. And you are cowards for kicking them out. They protected your freedom and my freedom. And that is one more example of why this country isn't great. Because you want to make America white again. You want one thing and one thing alone. Straight white Christian America. But if you commit felonies, if you steal from cancer charities, if you cheat on your wives with a porn star, if you steal top secret documents, if you have dinner with white nationalists, if you insult people, if you make fun of people, if you talk about Hannibal Lecter and electric sharks, as long as you're a white man in your America, that's okay because you want to make America white again. You have a good day.
Well, there you have it, from our brother Paul Lance. And well said. Actually, that whole talk needs a round of applause. You know, he's really mentioned and he's specifically picked out the things that he considers America's undoings. And if you give it a keen look, actually, it's not rocket science. You don't need to be well educated to know that what he was mentioning were things that Americans, or rather America, did that were wrong. You know, first of all, America does not care. America does not care who you are, where you come from, or what you do. America only cares about America. You know, that's something that he has put across in a very good way, in a way that needs some upload. And he's mentioned the case of Adriana Smith. That is a case that one can really tell it's a clear depiction that America truly does not care who you are. Remember, Adriana has been put on medication, and this was just complicating a small issue that would have easily been solved. And remember, she was put on medication unwillingly, and it was at the expense of her family. You know, that simply tells you that America does not care, beginning from the insurance companies which are working closely with the government. The health insurance in America, it's crap. America simply does not care, and the government knows that, and they are not willing to do a thing about it. Remember the case of the guy who killed the CEO of this American health insurance company. You know, I don't know how his case went. I think I'll just make a follow up right after this video. But he's just an example of people, or it's just an example that the insurance company, or rather America, does not care. Again, this is how we black people, or the black community, have lived all along. Nobody cares about us. We only have we and ourselves caring about our own business, and the system does not care. And it's right now that the whole trend is getting to reach our white brothers, and I am just glad that they're finally getting to see what we have tried to be, what we have been fighting for, what we have tried to be to push all this while. It's now that they're seeing. I would just like to commend this brother and all the other white people who are finally getting to see the world through our scope, or through our lenses. You know, it's not easy for black folks. America has never been great. America has not been a good place for black folks, always being oppressed. You know, a black person cannot just run on the streets probably carrying a pass. People will think that he or she is a thief and is running away with a stolen item. And it's not like it's true, but there's just this stereotype that black people are bad, black people are evil. And it's not just black people. That is something that America has done to all the minorities, to all the minority communities. That is the same blade that cuts them. They are facing the same fate. And although for blacks it may be worse, there is the bottom line, or there is a common base, that each and every minority group in America has its own challenges. And if you talk to Latinos, they'll tell you, talk to Hispanics, talk to Arabs, talk to Asians, I'm talking about Indians, talk to the Chinese. You know, America is one of the most racist countries. I hope YouTube will not detect that word. I don't want my channel to be deleted again. Anyway, I think whatever he is mentioned is kind of self-explanatory. Please tell me what you think in the comment section. Has America been great? Has it ever? And if at all it has, then to who? Tell me in the comment section. And if you like what that creator you've just watched has said, then please consider visiting his YouTube channel or his TikTok account. His name is Paul Lance. I think I'll put the link to his channel in the description. And yeah, get to show him some love, like this video, leave a comment for him. And I hope to be seeing you in the next video, because with that I just end the video here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if it's your first time here, remember I am your presenter Kachina, and please, I put and upload this kind of content here on a daily basis, so please consider subscribing to this channel if at all this is the kind of content that speaks to you. If at all this is the kind of content that resonates with you, then subscribe to this channel, because I post this kind of content on this channel on a daily basis, and I do it for free. All you need to do in return is to subscribe to this channel. Otherwise, hope to be seeing you in the next video. Bye.